Hello gamers, and welcome back to a new series of mine that I'll be working on. It's going to discuss the minor optimizations in the GTA games. This isn't necessarily going to be restricted to Vice City. It will likely be just the 3D trilogy because that's what I'm most familiar with. But it will be looking through minor optimizations that you can implement into your speedruns, regardless of skill level, that will save you a tiny bit of time here and there. That are documented on places like our Discord and the speedrun.com forums, but maybe aren't documented in a video tutorial exactly. So this one we'll be looking at sliding. Sliding is actually mentioned in my NoSSU tutorial, both iterations, but there is a new version of it called weaponless sliding. So we'll be going through the old-fashioned way of sliding in Vice City, the new way of sliding, which pretty much obsoletes the old one, but it's worth doing the old one just to show it, and also sliding in other games where it's possible. So to start off with, I'll show you the first version. So I need to quickly get myself a weapon here, give me a second, because you can only do this with weapons. So let's say that, also I should mention, my inputs are in the top left, so you can see me, dancing around. So if you want to slow the video down or something, if I do something a bit fast, you can go back and look at it exactly what I'm pressing at any time. So the idea of the first sliding is to simply switch to a weapon, back or forth, doesn't really matter, and then immediately double tap F1. It's just playing a replay, but obviously double tapping F1 is like the easiest way. So if you're walking forward, you switch to a weapon, and then you slide. The timing is very tricky. I don't think it's frame perfect, but it's very close. And then all you simply do is just hold W in order to keep sliding. So you can, switch weapons and whatever else, as long as you don't let go of W. However, if you go into a replay while still holding W, and then let go of W and cancel the replay, you can now slide without pressing any buttons. So certain weapons don't count. I believe you can't do it with grenades, for example, and perhaps other explosives. But for example, like SMG or an M4 or something, you can do. And there we are. But if you don't have a weapon, and this is the second iteration, which we call weaponless sliding, you can still slide. And it's useful in a lot of places, especially in the early game where you don't have a lot of weapons. And all you simply need to do is you need to hold a direction, then switch to a different direction. So for example, if you're holding A or D, then you switch to W and S, and then immediately play a replay. So I'll give you a demonstration. So I hold D, tap W, double tap F1 right afterwards, and now I'm sliding. So let's say you're holding A, you can double tap S and do it as well. I personally find the timing to do it backwards is a little trickier, so I would recommend using W instead. I find that a lot easier personally. But yeah, so that is how you slide without any weapons. So there is also another method of sliding, which is called pill sliding. And that is simply going into a slide. We can do it this way. And then taking a pill. And once the pill expires, you will gain an insane amount of speed. I forget exactly how long the pill takes to expire, but give me a second here. So here you go. Now the pill effect is finished, and we are sliding insanely fast. And this isn't particularly useful in any runs. It's used in a couple of individual level speedruns, but it's useful to throw in there just as an extra little bonus. So you can also do this in San Andreas. It's quickly worth noting that the reason, if you see me move, I'm using the F keys is simply because I'm using an AHK script in order to prevent WSD cheats. But the F keys are resembled, so like F5 is forward, F6 is backwards, F7 is left, F8 is right, so just keep that in mind. But the way you simply slide in San Andreas is quite a lot easier. The timing is a lot more forgiving. All you simply do is you get a weapon you can aim with. For example, the AK is one. Any one that you can kind of slow down and aim with. So the shotgun is also another. The pistol doesn't work because you can like walk with it normally. It's one that actually has to slow you down. So like the spray can also works, the sniper rifle works. There is a way to slide with the minigun, which I'll show you in a second, but you can't crouch with it, and that's required for this. So I'll show you that in just a second. But the main way to do it is simply to crouch. Then what you're going to do is you're going to hold W, or your forward key, your sprint key, and then right click. So W sprint forward. And then you just hold forward and right click, and you can slide, just like this. So in sequence, C, which is my crouch, W shift right click. And then you can go just like that. So if you have a weapon that you want to slide with, but you can't crouch with, such as the minigun like this, you can simply switch to another weapon and then also add the select weapon down in. So you can crouch, W forward, mouse wheel down, and then right click. So obviously it's a lot trickier to do, but it means that you can like slide, for example, with the minigun, with the fire extinguisher, stuff like that. Very simple. But not simple enough for me to not mess it up occasionally. But yes. So it's not possible to slide in GTA 3. GTA 3 has its own set of movements, which we'll go into in another episode. But for now, that is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you learned something today. Have a great day.